So today we're going to be looking at the best meta players in each position in 3 different budgets. We're going to look at low, medium, and the absolute top dollar, and we're going to see how they fare out together. So obviously we will start off with the low, and we will put them into the squad. I've gone for a 4-3-3, mainly because what I can do from that is have a CDM, a centre mid, and a cam in each of them, have 2 wingers, the top striker, even though there is technically the answer for 2 of them, I'm just going to go for 1. And to be honest, EA don't look like they want to help me on this.
Are you looking for coins to improve your team? Then you need to head over to lootbar.gg, the most reliable and the best coin service you can find. Also, they have incredible 24-hour manual customer service that you physically cannot find anywhere else. But before finishing on lootbar.gg, make sure you are using JT11 to get 8% off coupon. Once you've gone through the payment, you'll be able to get your coins within the next 24 hours. Absolutely guaranteed. Also, with the code, you'll be able to get 5% more coins on every transaction. Make sure you do click the link either in the description or down in the comment section below.
So after all that's finished, we've obviously got the goalkeepers to go for first. Now, in terms of the cheapest and probably the most reliable one you're going to find, I've gone for Donnarumma. He most definitely has got the best results. There is a lot of different goalkeepers that you can go for that you could argue. Kobel is some people's favourites for the Bundesliga. You've got Alisson. I feel like he's an up and down approach this time. I put him in the video yesterday, and most definitely there was a mixed response to him, which is for any keeper. If I was to go for a mid keeper, and I can't put him in because he is kind of the same as somebody else, we're going to go with 91 on the Van der Sar, or 90 in fact, for the Thunderstruck. I think he's a fantastic keeper. He's in that mid sort of price range, which is fair enough. But the number 1 keeper in my eyes, no matter the cost, is got to be our 92 Van der Sar. Now, in terms of the difference between the 2 of them, really, it is all down to your perspective of them. Obviously, Van der Sar's got a 5-star, 5-star, which makes him absolutely elite, obviously. But in terms of a keeper, it's all preference. I think Van der Sar's number 1. Somebody else could have a completely different opinion, and there is no proof of right or wrong. So now we move into the right backs. Say we got the 2 Van der Sars and also Donnarumma. Right backs is where it gets a little bit more interesting because we obviously have got a decent amount, to be fair to us. So if we go, and the worst thing is, it's going to screw up because we don't have the right wing back here, does it? Yeah, it's not gonna actually do us any favors unless, can I do the right back from here? No, of course not. Normally when you do right back, you can get like right back plus or something like that, but hey-oh, we make it work. So I already know the people that I'm going with. The first one, we'll start with the cheap first. We're obviously going for Thiago Santos. He's coming in at about 40,000 coins. Very, very nice indeed. The right back on the medium, we are going to go for our man Wan-Bissaka. Now, I was going to go with maybe a bit more of a Vasquez, but his SBC has ran out, so technically you can't get him if you haven't already, so I try not to put people on my list that you can't get, unless I know, like kind of like Rolfo or Baka, pretty much everybody had him. And the top of the top has got to be Frimpong. Now, don't get me wrong, Cafu, Alberto, who else we got right back? Was there another big one? Battle, Alberto, yeah. Any of them, they're still up there. Like, this is just if I had to pick one. So, Thiago Santos coming in as the cheap. I like all of the playstyle pluses. The Relentless is kind of one of them, to be honest, but it works. Great pace on him, which is just pace abuse in itself. Long ball pass with the jockey. I'm very happy if he is only costing me 30-40k. I'm not going above it, but that's absolutely fine. Wan-Bissaka, I think, is a great addition to him. Jockey, block, and slide tackle plus, I think, are brilliant playstyle pluses for myself. I don't personally like the right wing back style, hence why I don't really kind of go more with a overlapping fullback. I kind of keep them at the defense. I'm personally just saving myself from the defensive struggle. So this one works really well. Triple on the defending playstyle pluses, decent pace that could be upgraded, decent defending physical, a good amount of dribbling, nothing too crazy, and he's got a short game to him. I don't think I could ask for any better, and to be honest, I do need to get him done before too long. Then we've obviously got Frimpong. He is coming in as a 97. Incredible right back in himself. We have had apparently a leak that we might be getting a Bayern 04 pack or SBC. I don't know which one it's going to come under, but that would be pretty interesting. I did think they should do something with Leverkusen, especially if they do go invincible. I would really like to see like a a midweek full special team. Bring everybody back. Anybody else that is in the club, just put them all special. It's a once-in-a-lifetime sort of achievement, and Frimpong most definitely is looking incredible. Rapid, whipped past jockey, stats that just are nuts in itself. I don't know if I've seen this high-rated right back in Team of the Season ever before, so he is absolutely smashing it. Then we'll go for the left backs first. So in terms of left backs, we're going to have the exact same issue, which is nice. We are going to go with, to start with, we are actually going with a player that is very, very cheap. And he's only coming in as a 90 rated. And that is going to be Estepinha. Very, very good left back for literally about 25,000. We then have another left back that has been a fan favourite for quite some time. And that is going to be Team of the Season backer. Then in terms of my top left back, we are going to go for the other pairing. We're going to go for 95 Grimaldo. Now, there is definite arguments, and I've personally not put him in because I cannot wait to see a Team of the Season version of him. But that is going to be to snub, technically, in a Furlan Mendy, purely on the basis that I know he's getting a Team of the Season this week, and, well, I think he is. I'm pretty sure it's confirmed. But that's going to be an incredible card. Whereas, at this moment in time, Grimaldo, Frimpong pairing, absolutely unreal. But Estepinha looks phenomenal for 20,000 coins. Never going to argue there. He's a 90 rated moments. His Premier League as well. Whipped pass, slide tackle, long ball throw, which seems to be the third play star plus for any fullback. In terms of stats, we're looking very good. It's a nice upgrade, and I'm looking at the kind of low end as a very bog standard entry. It's not going to be anything crazy. Like, he could left back, right back, goalkeepers, even centre backs. A lot of them can get you by. Even in the mid to certain top division, it's not going to get you through elite unless you are already at an elite level player, which more than likely you've got the players to go with. But in the bog standard, he's definitely one to be looking at. We then have Backer. Honestly, we've used her so much in her normal version, in her, the Road to the Knockout, I want to say it was, the 90 rated. Now we've got a lovely upgrade, quick step, jockey, pinged pass, incredible stat upgrade, now coming in at just over about 400 with still room to drop. Another phenomenal card that you can get behind. But Grimaldo for me is another one like Frimpong. I don't think I've seen a left back quite as high rated with these stats ever before. Like in Team of the Season, normally fullbacks get 91, 92, 93 at a very luxury. Potentially in Team of the Year, they might get like a 94, 95 that lasts them the rest of the year. But even then, we've seen some very low rated fullbacks, whereas this time round, with the 97 Frimpong and then a beautiful 95 Grimaldo, I think them two pairings together just has to happen. Now in terms of centre-backs, we've obviously got 6 different options. We've got 2 cheap, 2 medium and 2 expensive. Now, I am very, very happy with the 2 cheap, and to be honest, I think you could probably get away with them for quite some time as well. They're a lovely pairing together. The first one is going to be one that I've raved about quite a lot, who is a plus, not a live. I don't know why I keep calling him a live, but that's going to be Hanko. And going next to him, one of the fastest centre-backs in the game, just purely on the fact that he's literally the fastest defender that you can physically get in terms of a centre-back. And also his base card is the second fastest in the game, joint with somebody else. If I can find him down on this list, we should be able to find him under Dutch. That should give him away, and that is going to be, not in that position, a lovely, lovely Saint Just. Both of them together are looking fantastic. Now, if we go back, we'll only look at a German centre-back who is absolutely taking it by storm. And I had to put him in here, even though he is very close to not being mid-expensive. That is going to be Bissek. Now, going next to him, though, just as, again, everybody out of the way, we've kind of gone a little bit cheaper in terms of an SBC, purely on the fact that Bissek is a little bit more expensive. That is going to be our CDM going into a centre-back in Marquez. Then, in terms of a centre-back overall, I think it's pretty self-explanatory with these two. Virgil van Dijk is going to be the first one. And actually, when I was looking through kind of all of them, I was thinking, well, who is going to be my second? You've obviously got the choice of a Maldini, who's the second highest expensive. You've then got a Rio Ferdinand. You've got a Marquinhos, who Marquinhos, to be fair to him, looks fantastic. But Renard, potentially if she got a different one rather than Block. But even then, you could argue, I'm actually going to go with Saliba. I think Saliba looks and feels phenomenal in this game. So in terms of the cheap, Hanko is unbelievable in himself. I think everybody can attest to that. We've got just incredible pace, defending, physical. He's got the anticipate with the block and also a power header, whereas Saint Just is just absolutely just rapid, genuinely rapid. 95 on that pace. There is probably other options that you can go with that are just as good, but he again coming in very, very cheap. Bisek is he's a nuts. He probably is one of my favorites. He's kind of a little bit cheaper than the top end, but he definitely is absolutely up there. And to be honest, Marquez, again, you could go with more team of the seasons, but how good he genuinely is in that back line for an SBC that just costs over 250. I don't think that's bad whatsoever. Now the pairing, I think there could be a lot of arguments for centre backs. Like I said, you could go Rio, Maldini, all of them, but I thought this was the perfect combination. You've got the anticipate, you've got the intercept, and the slide tackle. They all act really well, and if you could potentially, if say you can't afford a Virgil, which is fair enough, and went with somebody like a Bisek who's got kind of that aerial nature as well, or a taller, isn't he? 6'5". That's going to work in your favour, being a 6'5" and a 6'4" centre back. That's going to be a very, very nice back line to get. So then we have the midfield. Now this is a little bit more tricky to get everybody in, so we are going to go into CDMs first. My first player going into this is going to be the cheap Busquets. Very, very easy, very, very confident. We then have Conte coming in as the mid. And then in terms of the top CDMs, box to boxes in the game, I've had to go with Rodri. Rodri is brilliant. Now, you've got the arguments between Rodri and Rice, and to be fair, both of them have that argument. Both of them are incredible. They have literally stats that are very, very similar. And to be honest, Rice potentially does have a little bit more over him in terms of that pace side of stuff. But Rodri in game for me has just felt better. That purely is what it comes down to. You could pick both of them and both answers would be very much right. So I've gone with them. In terms of my centre mids now we've got a few different options you can go with, and most definitely with centre mids at this point, there is lots and lots of options. And I've tried to gone a little bit obscure with this. We've gone for the first one, as he is insanely cheap. Potential to go up is going to be Edison. Edison is unbelievable for the price that you're paying and what you could potentially get back if they do manage to stop that streak. Going in next to him is going to be Fred in that box-to-box role. And then to finish off this box-to-box role, we're going with not quite a centre mid by definition, but we have to go with him. Hullet is arguably one of the best midfielders in the game in every position. And then we will go with the cams as well just to finish this off. The first one going in here is going to be a guy that I didn't think would get an upgrade, and thank God he did manage to get one in the end. It's going to be, I think, is he 93 already? Or it might be 92 still. It is going to be our boy Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He is 92 going into 93, and if you did the evolution, he is going to be 94 very, very soon. If then I go one more up, we're going to go with the Galazzo 93 Kaka. Very, very nice card on himself. And the final, the best cam in this game so far at the moment. It is not Pele. It is not No, I'm joking. Of course it's got to be Pele. Pele is unbelievable. We've got a wonderful display of cams. Verts, every right to be there. De Bruyne, Musiala, Ronaldinho, different position. Zidane, not as much. Royce, a little bit lower. I really, really, really like Foden as an underrated shout there. It's still 2 million coins, but he is incredible. Bruno could have been up there with a double upgrade, but unfortunately, it just happens. Schneider, absolutely phenomenal as well. You could keep going. Santos, very underrated. Simons, not a bad card, great pace. There is loads of options, but Pele's Pele. It has to be. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is very cheap in himself. He's played a few games for me. Obviously, it's more kind of evolution based and just being in a team that's just winning a squad battle match. So it's not as if he's really done too much for me. And I spent, I think, about 5 games with his evolutions not actually even active. So yeah, we did that as well. But I think he's a very good all-round. Now he's finally getting an upgrade. I think most definitely he's coming into his own. And if you did manage to get him into the evolutions as well, that's even better, to be honest. Kaka, the 5'4", I think he's perfect. He's got the pinged pass, he's got the rapid. He is just a general delight on the ball. Now, you could argue quite a few, like I say, with Royce, with Simons. They're a lot cheaper than your 2 mil coin cards. And to be honest, Kaka's, what, 600-700? I just think, for me, he is a pure enjoyment when it comes to being on the game. And then when you look at Pele's Pele. Like, he's just a wizard on the game. It'd be like saying that R9 isn't one of the best strikers in the game as well. It just doesn't happen, especially when you've got a 97 Pele in front of you. Like, I can understand if we only had the base, that's fair enough. Like, the base now probably is at a point where I'm like, okay, it's time to move on. But the 97 Pele is no way. But just pushing back through the rest of the midfields, I don't know if I just went completely off tangents on the cams. Busquets is fantastic for the price. He really is such a good card, which I really thought he wouldn't be. To be brutally honest, I looked at the card, I thought, oh, okay, he's gonna be a little bit quicker. Obviously, he's had a pace increase. He had to by any shadow of imagination. But the passing, the dribbling on him is a generally nice upgrade. He's 96,000. I think he does a bit of wonders. Conte is always going to be a nice flashback or upgrade no matter what. And as soon as he went to the Saudi, you knew full well he was getting a team of the season at this point. So another great upgrade for him. Same with Rice. Rodri and Rice are both pretty much the same card. I love them both. If you can get any of them, they are fantastic with it. You've obviously got the honourable mentions of someone like a Patrick Vieira team of the year, or even a Matthias that you can do in an SBC. They are very, very good. DMs, CMs, cams, whatever you want. When it comes to Edison, if they do manage to do it, I think the difference between Edison and Hoffman, it needs the upgrade to look even slightly better. Edison looks pretty good now. So for 50k, I don't think that's a bad card whatsoever. If he does manage to go to the 94, that's going to be a really nice card for the price. So I think that is well worth the gamble at the minimum. Fred was unbelievable. Very, very good for the price. I thought he was an absolute wizard on the ball. Very quick on the dribbling, hence the 99 agility, balance and reactions. Great defending on him as well. He's got that anticipate, the jockey. He's got the technical as well. He's a perfect person to really get the defence going, push the ball up. He may not have the greatest shooting or finishing, but he definitely gets the ball in the final third. And then Hullet, I don't think you need to explain Hullet. He's just a monster in the midfield. So now it comes to the attack. I'm going to put them all 3 in 1 because it kind of goes with each other, to be honest. The first left wing that we're going to go with is going to be one that I think a lot of people kind of thought that he might not even really be relevant anymore. And to be fair, I don't think we've heard too much of him. Zaha. Zaha is phenomenal in every shadow of imagination. Going next to him in the striking role, one of my favourites for right now. He is just brilliant. I put him in the list yesterday. That's going to be Balotelli. Balotelli is the guy, like genuinely. We have got a left wing turned right wing for the next one, and to be honest, it wasn't until we gave her a go and we thought, okay, she's pretty decent, but then every single champs match, especially kind of low end to top, she was popping up left, right and centre, all on the right side as well. So I don't know if people just had an absolute injection of left wing, so they just put her on the right wing instead. But that's going to be the front three for the starting one. Then if we go over to the mid, this is going to be the left wing side, and we're going to keep it on French because I thought he was brilliant upgrade. He might actually even be a left mid to start with, and that's going to be Kingsley Coman. Very, very nice card. Into the striking role, one that is a little bit expensive. He is in the League League as well, and that's going to be our boy Jonathan David. Very, very nice card. And an SBC that has got very little left, that is going to be Sane or Teller. No, it's going to be Sane. Another great card that you can get, the Bundesliga, lovely Bayern duo there, and Jonathan David was just a very top-end mid card. I could have argued potentially Sami Kerr, but I must admit, David really put a good shift in, especially when I thought Aubameyang would have been my fair shout or cheaper player by then. I think he really came in clutch. And then the best attacking players in the game at the moment, we have got on the left wing, who is technically a striker, but I think if you're going for a 4-3-3, you're going to be looking at Mbappe as a striker left wing. In the striking role, a little bit different, we're going to go for our boy Haaland. Now, Haaland normally looks great. Like, he's always a fantastic card. but having the rapid plus on him as for me, is exceptional. The aerial, rapid plus, and power shot with the 99 shooting, I don't think that's matched, to be honest. I genuinely, like, yes, you've got your arguments of Cruyff, R9, Pele could go in that mix, a Messi, a CR7, even throw in Lauren James at that point as a top contender. I don't think Kane really does, but that is most definitely where we're looking at. But I do think Haaland, as that rapid plus, really puts him on the map. And I do think there's only one option for this right wing. As much as I love Hansen, and most definitely when we get the Liga F this Friday, she's going to be a force to be reckoned with. But Dembele's Dembele, like, genuinely, how good this card is. He's still coming in crazy price. Most people have got him red, which I am absolutely gutted for, but that is an attack. So Zaha for me is coming in as the cheaper side. Again, most of these have got the same sort of factors. Very quick, good shooting, good dribbling, good passing. Everybody's got there, and it's just an increase in what you kind of want. I'd argue that Balotelli really puts himself on the map with every striker, whereas Haaland blows past it. Jonathan David, you could argue he's in the S tier. I just think every single option you've got for a left wing, a right wing, a striker at this point in the game is definitely deserved, 100% deserved. When you look through the list, you look at Kane, he's got his attributes, Hansen does as well, 96 CR7, Sammy Kerr with a rapid, big girl Bunny Shaw, lovely card again. You've obviously got Chowing Inga. I always get that name wrong. Salah is obviously there as well. Even Saka to some extent. R9 and Ham. There's so many that you can go with. And I don't think there's a bad version, to be honest. Like, there is underwhelming cards. Like, I don't think Kototo did it as well as I expected. She just didn't. Then you look at someone like a Prince. She exceeded expectations by an absolute landslide. Same as someone like a Sancho. I thought he was good, but then Di Maria blew him out of the water. Or you look at a Luis Diaz did, a Salah did, a Nani did. There is so many options you can go with. Boniface, another great option you can go with. There's so many, but everybody has their preferences. That's going to be my list for all three. Let me know down below what you think. Who is your best player in each position that might not be everybody's cup of tea?